Thanks for listening to Live Forever Young Radio. This time on the show, we will answer the question, are fruits and vegetables less nutritious now than before? Also, Certified Holistic Nutritionist Bob Gilpatrick will share things you can do to figure out if you are one of the millions of Americans missing vital nutrients from their diet, as well as some easy ways to supplement what you're missing. So sit back, relax, and get ready to live forever young.
Welcome everyone to Live Forever Young Radio. I'm Bob. I'm here with Larry Daudelin and Rollie Culp.
Hey guys.
One of the things that I really appreciate the fact we get a lot of people that call in with different questions and stuff, and we try to help them here at the office. So we try to take some of the really important ones and we try to make a topic out of it.
Yeah.
So Rollie, what's the first question we have that's most important?
Well, the one that we got that I think is actually, we were getting ready to do a show about it. So when the question came in, it made sense to kind of start the show with that. It comes from Mary. Mary's from Texas. And in Texas, they do a lot of planting and things, obviously, a lot of agriculture. And she asks, are fruits and vegetables less nutritious than before? And I think what she means than before, I would assume that she's talking before industrialized agriculture, mass production of stuff.
Probably. I don't even think we need to clarify it. We just know that it isn't as nutritious as it used to be. The soil's pretty depleted. And Bob, you have any facts on soil?
Well, it's very interesting that the question today came from Texas because the major study that's been done on the level of nutritious vegetables is done in Texas, right? The University of Texas did the main study, and they actually looked back over the course of 50 years at the quality of the soil, and they're able to measure what's been going on. And so for the last 50 years, there's been a steady decline. And so you have this soil deficiency now that has kind of culminated in a result where people will go to the grocery store to buy fruits and vegetables, and there's almost no nutrition left in those fruits and vegetables. And a lot of times people also are eating processed foods, so the fruits and vegetables have been processed with enzymes added, frozen, they've had coloring added to it, and the way they've been cooked has created trans fats, and so this is causing a lot of problems with people's diet. And
Real
so
quick, I just had a question.
Yeah.
You said the study showed that it's been declining. What was declining in the study?
the quality of the nutrients in the soil, the amount of nutrients in the soil has been steadily going down. So
that's
plants, so plants receive nutrition in the form of minerals from the soil. Okay, plants can still grow when there's very little nutrition in the soil because plants actually get most of their energy that makes them grow from the air.
Okay.
So you have bacteria that clings to the leaves and the grass, and that bacteria is extracting nitrogen from the air that's making the plant grow. And so you can have a plant that's all grown up because of nitrogen from the air, but the soil quality was so poor it has no nutritional value.
Right now you'll see a lot of different doctors, some farmers and stuff. They talk about SBO, soil-based organism.
But now the depleted soils not only deplete of minerals, it's also deplete of the soil-based organisms, the good bacteria, and it's deplete of the worms, and so the roots are very thin and thready, and so that's what's going on. So we have to, consider that that's a fact, and you're not going to get the nutrition that you need, right? The famous TV doctor said that only 5% of the people in the United States can get all of the nutrition they need from food alone. And these are people that either live on their own organic farm or they have access continuously year-round to organic fruits and vegetables. And maybe then, if the organic farm is a really good organic farm, you can get all of your nutrition.
You would unfortunately have to eat like a basket full of things to get all the nutrition that you need. What we believe, we need to supplement what you can't get at the store because of the soil, right, Bob? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you don't supplement, you're not going to be able to get it.
That's actually funny because there's a question, another question that relates to this that we had gotten earlier. It comes from Jim in Florida, and I think based on kind of where we were going, he was wondering, because of this type of stuff, are nutritional supplements necessary to have a robust health? And he wanted to know if they are necessary, what's something that you guys would suggest?
Okay.
Yeah, it's very good question because, you know, so much of people's lives are dependent on how healthy they are. And if people are not feeling healthy, if they're feeling run down or just, you know, feeling sick because they don't have proper nutrition, they're generally not going to be very happy. And what we notice is when people do get well nourished, they start to feel happier, right? Because it's like, wow, I feel more energy today. I'm bouncing out of bed, I'm bounding up the stairs,
Right.
I'm doing better. And as a result, they like, wow, I feel happy today, right? And when people feel happy, they tend to feel grateful. They start to notice things that they're grateful for. I'm happy today. Look how beautiful the trees are. Look at this. I'm happy to be with my children, etc. And so good nutrition is more than just, okay, now I know I've got enough vitamin B, right? Mm-hmm. It leads to a different type of life. And so people need to understand the concept of foundational nutrition, because the average person that wants to supplement with nutritional supplements, they will buy some stuff online. They'll go to the drugstore. They'll go to the health food store. They'll ask somebody that's in the aisle, stocking the health food store aisle, you know, what should I do? I feel this. So they'll get little of this, little of that, little of that. The next thing you know, they have 20 bottles of vitamin pills.
You know what I call that?
What?
Supplement confusion.
Supplement confusion. And guess what? It's very expensive. Each of those bottles cost between $20 and $30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you got 20 of them. Think about it. And it's a hassle. So you're unlikely to actually use it every day.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, you're going to take 20 things a day. You're not going to do it.
And not only that, I can guarantee you it's not in the right ratios. And ratios are important. You need a certain amount of this vitamin to interact with the amount of this vitamin.
Right.
Balanced nutrition.
Balanced. And so you have to identify a place where you can get true foundational nutrition that's comprehensive, that includes all the things you need in the right ratios.
Now, is it true that even if you did, like Larry was saying, right, you eat a bunch of organic carrots and you do eat great food, there's still going to be gaps in there, because you're not going to get everything from food, right?
Well, technically you can, but it's very, very difficult. Okay. So because there are all different types of essential amino acids, proteins that you need, et cetera, and it's unlikely that you'd be able to eat enough different foods to be as healthy as you possibly can.
Gotcha.
And so this is why when you look at foundational nutrition, you want to have macronutrients, which are proteins, preferably in the form of amino acids, which are digested proteins, and good fats, right? So good fats that are in the form of mid-chain triglycerides, etc., and low glycemic index carbohydrates, right? So carbohydrates can be very fast burning, like breads, right? Or they can be absorbed and burned very slowly. Things like vegetables such as broccoli, spinach, etc. Okay. And this gives you a more constant source of energy. And that's the beginning. Those are called the macronutrients. And then from there, you need the micronutrients that help all of that get converted into energy. So you have to have vitamins, minerals, coenzymes that all work together to create this energy that you need. Yeah. Energy is created in your mitochondria, in the Krebs cycle, and we know the exact details right down to the electron, exactly how food gets converted into ATP, your molecule of energy.
It's fairly complex. Now, we have taken the guesswork out of it.
Right.
And we have come up with a product that we think is foundational nutrition. And this is something that I think everybody should be aware of. Because, when you were talking earlier and you said, I'm not feeling good today, I'm not as happy as I was. Psychologically, I feel a little depressed. Depression's a big thing. And depression and nutrition go hand in hand. It doesn't just happen in one day. All of a sudden, they're not eating right for a while.
You know what that leads to? You're right. Well-fed, but malnourished.
Yes, exactly. And fast foods, et cetera, et cetera. Processed foods.
Right. You have food, but
yeah.
They're not nourishing.
And you don't really know. It's not satisfying. This is why people are gaining weight, because where do I go? They first go to sugars. And that's the first place that they go to, because it's an instant gratification. I just feel better when I have a piece of chocolate. I just feel better. And there's nothing wrong with chocolate, as long as it's dark chocolate with a high percentage. But they're eating, I'm going to go get this burger real quick with some fries, because, they said I should have fries as part of the meal. So then all of a sudden...
those are high glycemic index carbohydrates with trans fats. Worst kind of food that you can eat.
So, but what it is, it's self-gratification at that time. You're feeling, I feel good now.
And it's quick.
But all of a sudden, an hour and a half later, I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Because your body knows that this is not what it needs.
Temporary food is what it is.
Exactly.
It's not even food.
And it isn't food. But, unfortunately, that's in today's life. It's quick and easy, and that's the best that they can do. And, just choose for yourself. I mean, people are smart.
Here's another question just came in. It's like, it says here, it comes from Mike, and Mike's from Arizona. Mike says, to stay active and to stay healthy, what would you guys suggest are some basic supplements that I can use?
Yeah, sure.
You want to field that, Bob?
Yeah, so the foundational nutrition it no longer requires 20 bottles of vitamin pills to get everything you need for foundational nutrition.
Okay.
And it's better that you don't get it from all those pills. It's better that you get it in powder form, right? Okay. And so in our total health system, which is foundational nutrition, there's a product that has 70 different nutrients in it that's designed to cover this foundation. And there's another product that is made from sprouted barley seeds that comes from these pristine organic farms up in Canada that have really great soil quality. And that helps potentiate the product with the 70 nutrients in it. And it helps to cleanse your intestines so that you can absorb your nutrients better. And it also has antioxidants in it to keep your inflammation down, right? And so when people do this, they also need a form of probiotic, right? Because believe it or not, our bodies are only 1/10 human, and we are 90% other than human, meaning we are bacteria, viruses, funguses, etc.
You're not talking aliens. That's true.
No
just
aliens,
wanted to clarify that.
No aliens, but it is a fact. And so you need to tend to your microbiome as well when you're talking about foundational nutrition. Otherwise, you're missing 90% of the book. Yeah. The other thing is this. Almost everyone in the United States, for certain, is deplete in vitamin D3 because we're taught not to go out in the sun too much. You're going to get skin cancer.
I got a stat on that. Actually, just looked it up. They estimate that over 1 billion people in the world are deficient in D3.
Right. And vitamin D3, some doctors and scientists believe is the single most important nutrient, right? It does many.
Look at all they've showed about COVID.
Yeah, it does many different things, including that. It helps your immune system. And in addition, it helps to stimulate your genome, your genetic expression that allows your body to produce all the proteins that it needs that are coded for in your DNA. So most people need to take between 5,000 and 10,000 IUs of vitamin D.
Well, one thing that you want to do, because it does vary from person to person and geographically. If you get a lot of sun, you might not need as much supplementation. So you obviously want to get it tested. That's a fairly easy. What's the name of the actual test? I think it's a 25-OHD.
Yes, yeah. And if you just ask your doctor for a vitamin D3 test, they'll do that for you. But if you don't ask, they're probably not going to do it. And you want your level not to be at the very low end of the range. The low end of the range is 20, and some people will say, well, if you're at 15, you're okay. It's not really true. You want your level to be up higher than that, above 50.
Yeah.
And so this is one of the things that's an overall marker of your health. When you look at the health of someone by doing blood tests, okay, you need to know their vitamin D3 level because it's associated with so many important aspects of good health.
You know, it's funny. Vitamin D3 has been around forever, obviously, and it used to be a hot talking point. Then it kind of went away. And then all of a sudden it's the big talking point again because nutritional doctors have realized how important it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it's true.
Actually, the D3, when I went, because I'm on Medicare, and I went and got my results tested, and my D3 level was almost 80. My doctor looked at me and he said, I wished everybody was right around your range.
Really?
He said, people don't understand it. He says how important it is. But, so you have to be taking the supplement so that you can get it. Now, what happens if I don't take my supplement? And I'll tell you a kind of a weird story. I went on vacation. I was gone for 5 days. I left, unfortunately, my little kit that I put together, all my vitamins on a daily basis. I have them Monday through Saturday. And we looked at the thing. I set it out. I forgot to take it. And I thought, well, I'll be fine because I have a lot of nutrition in me already. About the third day, I was tired. And I was groggy, and I thought, what is wrong? And I thought, I didn't have my nutrition.
You know what they say? Nutritional supplements only work if you do them every day.
Yeah.
Because you're going to use that nutrition up as you go through everyday life.
Yeah, your body gets accustomed to getting it.
Right.
It's saying, where's my nutrients?
Exactly.
I mean, there's so many things that good nutrition does for you, and one of them is detoxification.
Oh, yeah.
And so you have to realize humans are very gelatinous, right? We absorb toxins through our skin, through our breath, through our food and water. And by the time you get to be our age, your body can be very, very toxic. And so good nutrition that contains detoxifying agents can give you a fresh start. Mm-hmm. So you can detoxify, and then you don't have the danger of getting adult onset problems that are caused by toxicity. The other thing is the whole issue of generating energy, all right? You want to have enough energy because that implies you're producing enough energy in your mitochondria, and that energy spreads to your every other metabolic pathway requires this energy that's being created. So many things improve, and we see testimonials all the time. Mm-hmm. People say, I started on the total health system and my skin started looking better.
Right.
And I have more energy and this and this and this, right? This good nutrition also slows your rate of aging, right? So people on average live to be about 78 to 80 years old, with 85 being the median maximum lifespan. So even if you never get sick, by the age of 85, you're going to die of old age. Okay. But with the right nutrition supplements, that's not the case. You actually can slow your rate of aging, and you can measure how fast you're aging by looking at another blood test that you want to get with your vitamin D3. It's called CRP. This is a measure of your inflammation, which tells you how fast you're aging. The life insurance companies use it to determine how old they think you are biologically versus chronologically.
Yeah, but you have to ask for that one too. Your doctor's not going to give it to you.
You have to ask for that one. And the average person's number is 3 on the scale, right? And so you're going to age at age 85, you're going to be at your maximum lifespan, even if you never get sick, which is unlikely, because if your inflammation's that high, you're probably going to get some type of problem. But like Larry, who we measure his CRP all the time by using the foundational nutrition system, his inflammation went down by a factor of 10. Not 10%, a factor of 10. Mm-hmm. So if the average person is 3, Larry is 0.3.
Wow.
Okay, so he's aging at a tenth the rate that he otherwise would be.
But it wasn't 10 years ago when we started this, Bob.
Yeah.
I mean, my numbers were unbelievably bad.
Yep.
And this is why we're actually doing this, folks. This is why we decided to go ahead and even start this program and have these products that we have to have. So I'm 75. When I was 65, I looked 75. And
I've got pictures. It's true.
yeah, and so now I'm living proof with all the energy I have and everything that I do. I mean, this is something that's very, very important. If you're not feeling yourself, and sometimes people forget about how they used to feel. They think the way they feel today is normal. Well, it's the normal for you today. But if you really want to feel better, think back 20 years ago. Think back 10 years ago. Gosh, I used to be able to go up these stairs. Now I'm a little slower at it. Or I used to go for a little hike. I don't do that anymore. I rode a bike, but now I'm a little wobbly. If you want to go back to what you used to do, that's what you need is the foundational nutrition.
Exactly. Just one last thing, Larry, we're coming to the end here. We did a previous podcast on the issue of circulation, right? And so good nutrition also helps with your circulation. Okay. It's one thing to have enough nutrients in your blood, but it needs to get circulated all the way to the end, your feet, your toes, your brain, in order to be absorbed into your cells. And the oxygen also is circulating in your blood. And so good foundational nutrition assures that you're going to continue to have good circulation as well.
If you go to liveforeveryoungradio.com, that'll link you to a lot of different products that we offer.
And blog information too.
And yeah, exactly. The information itself is invaluable. So go on liveforeveryoungradio.com. It'll link you to any questions that you might have. And also go ahead and put your comments in.
And leave us some questions. That's how we did the show today.
That's how we did. This is what provoked this show.
Yes. So don't forget to leave them.
Yeah, positively. Well, anyways, Bob, thank you.
Thank you, Larry, and thanks everybody for watching and listening. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to Live Forever Young Radio. Check us out at liveforeveryoungradio.com.